What's up, fight fans? Sergey Kovalev versus Anthony Yarde was a hell of a fight. I enjoyed it immensely, and I want to first of all say Anthony Yarde proved me correct. Okay, he proved me correct in the sense that I was very impressed by him. That he was ready for the step up in competition. Of course, experience played a major key in this fight, and experience was in pacing yourself in a fight. Andrew Ward said something which was very true, which is that when a fighter has to fight a fight, experience plays a major key in that. When you step up in competition, the only problem that Anthony Yarde had wasn't his defense. It wasn't that he wasn't getting shots in. It wasn't that he didn't have the championship heart. But Andrew Ward said the fight's going to be tough in the sense that you have to be able to dig deep and be able to go further than you've done before. And since Anthony Yarde didn't have that experience of digging deep and going further, he gassed out. Pretty much, this is what happened with Anthony Yarde in this fight, why he lost. And it was the same thing I was questioning his stamina. That is to say, if he could go 12 rounds. Because they were talking about Sergey Kovalev by KO. Anthony Yarde never went a full 12 rounds. So, this fight came down to a guy who was pacing himself, the veteran, the experienced fighter, versus the fighter who let it all hang out at a certain round because he was trying to go for the stoppage, and so he punched himself out. And he had to go now with basically an empty tank, trying to run through 12 more rounds. Kudos to Sergey Kovalev on the win. It was an exceptionally great win. I was very impressed. For all these other guys out there that was telling me Anthony Yarde, he gets hit with the jab, and because Sergey Kovalev knocked him down with a jab, it had nothing to do with that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This came down to Anthony Yarde had punched himself out, and now he was walking Sergey Kovalev down, because if he was trying to go on the defensive, Kovalev would have got him out sooner. So he started to walk Sergey Kovalev down to get the stoppage, because he had nothing else left in the tank. He went for it. He went for the gusto, and he blew his load in the 8th round. Okay, so that's basically what happened in this fight. That's what it came down to. I was very impressed with Anthony Yarde. You know, I had that hunch in my mind that this step up in competition, he would be able to handle it, and he basically was able to handle whatever Sergey Kovalev brought to him until he punched himself out. And even then, I was very impressed that he still kept his defense on point for the most part, even though it was very loose. And the only reason why he got knocked out was because he was trying to go in for the kill. His defense, he was tired, so his defense was not going to be on point anymore. He was very fatigued. He has to work still on his conditioning. Now that he's been in a fight like this, now he has that experience under his belt facing Sergey Kovalev, which I still think is the weakest of all the champions out there. Again, he shows he's vulnerable to the body. Anthony Yarde really working the body, going up top. Sergey Kovalev coming back and answering in round 9. Came back and he answered, and then he was able to hurt Anthony Yarde severely in the 10th. I thought he wasn't going to get Anthony Yarde knocked out of there in the 10th. Anthony Yarde's a tough dude, but by the 11th round, Anthony Yarde was falling down all over the place. We knew he was gassed. It was it. You know, he had nothing else left in the tank, but he went out on his shield, which was very impressive. And Sergey Kovalev had this to say at the end of the fight. He said, "This guy is a true fighter. He's a great fighter." And he says 100% this guy's going to become a world champion. And when you hear a champion certify a guy like that, that's the kind of quality that Anthony Yarde is. And I give Anthony Yarde, if he keeps the work ethic up, keeps that mindset up, I give Anthony Yarde not very much further along the way before he becomes world champion. But he has to keep that same work ethic, I remember Jesus Chavez when he faced Floyd Mayweather. At the end of the fight, Floyd Mayweather said, "This guy gonna become a world champion." And what happened to Jesus Chavez? He became world champion at super flyweight, and not only world champion, but 2-time world champion in 2 different weight classes. Also becoming world champion, WBC world champion at lightweight. The great Eric Morales beating him. It was a technical stoppage because he had actually hurt himself, but he beat Jesus Chavez to become lightweight champion of the world. So I'm just saying that this guy belongs at this level. Even with his inexperience and his background, he's learned a ton by facing Sergey Kovalev. And it was really just a matter of conditioning and pacing yourself that undid Anthony Yarde. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board and work that. Whatever regiment or whatever Tunde is doing with this dude, they should keep doing what they're doing. Keep doing what they're doing. That whatever school of thought that Tunde is teaching Anthony Yarde is very good. It's just that Anthony Yarde, the difference between Anthony Yarde and Sergey Kovalev was Anthony Yarde blew his load, and on top of that, he had to dig deep. And as Andre Ward said, you have to dig deep with these guys, and he had to dig deep. I thought he performed exceptionally well in this fight. I give him a lot of props, even though he lost, and it don't really matter. Of course, no excuses. Sergey Kovalev is the dude. Showed beautiful boxing skill, beautiful technique. Did absolutely fantastic in this fight. And I look forward to his fight with Canelo. It seems as though that's going to be the next fight on the chart. Sergey Kovalev getting past Anthony Yarde. Now is going to face Canelo Alvarez. And I'm looking forward to that fight as well. I really wish that Canelo would face Demetrius Andrade, but it looks like Canelo is going to jump up to 175 and face Sergey Kovalev. So that's what's next. I'm looking forward to it. And what do you guys have to say? Leave your comments in the comment section below. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Peace.